Alright guys, KSWTV here, and I'm going to make a video that I've been wanting to make for a few days now, and that's regarding Phil Foden, and my opinion on Phil Foden, how I'm feeling now, and what I expect to see from him, and I'm sure will happen in the future regarding him as a Man City player and just his career in general. Now, honestly, I think Phil Foden has probably the highest potential out of any young player in the Premier League right now. I think he's the best young English product come out the country, or still in the country, and he's so consistent playing for the best team in Europe, or second best team in Europe, I guess, this year. But yeah, he's playing out of his shoes. Honestly, he's 21 years old, but the way that he plays, you'd think that he's 26, 27. His IQ, his poise on the ball, his confidence, and the way he takes on players, he always beats his players. He always finds the pass, and sometimes it's the easy option, sometimes it's the hard option, but he always makes it look like the easy option. Now, with such high potential comes with you got to start comparing to who Phil Foden could really be, and I think he could be the closest thing that England and the Premier League's really had to a Messi. I feel like in 5-6 years we can look at it and see that he's really established himself as that sort of Messi, Xavi, Iniesta type player that is constantly getting goals or assists for the team, constantly, rarely having any bad games. You probably count on a hand how many bad games he has over the course of a season. And generally every season he gets older, he gets better, just like, Messi and Ronaldo seem to be doing, although they are coming towards the end of their careers now. Now, I think Phil Foden overall is stunning to watch. I think he's one of the most attractive players to watch on the ball regarding the young players in the Premier League right now. And I'm so happy that he's at Man City and at our club, and he's come from the academy, and we're, have no intention of selling him. And just to back up how I feel about him being the best young Premier League player, some people might say Mount, he's got a Champions League now, maybe Mount sort of taking that step, getting the assist in the Champions League, taking that step up in the career, maybe building his legacy a little bit more than Phil Foden just winning Premier League titles, when Mount's winning Champions Leagues and Europa Leagues and European competitions. But just getting back to what I was saying, the CIS laboratory of football, it's literally their job to study players and decide for themselves who's the most expensive player and what is their appropriate price tag for each player. And Phil Foden has just topped that list. You've got Kylian Mbappe, Erling Haaland going around, you'd think would be the most expensive. Maybe Marcus Rashford, he was up there as well. But Phil Foden has cleared Erling Haaland. 190.2 million euros he's valued at by the CIS Football Laboratory. That is insane, but good at the same time, that no one's ever going to splash that cash in the next 2-3 years. So at least we'll have, prime Phil Foden. I reckon he'll be in his prime 23, 24. So we'll get a bit of his prime at least, at the very minimum, and we'll be able to keep him. Surely he'll keep that price tag. I reckon he'll stay consistent. He's such a good player, so much potential, and surely he keeps that price tag and no one buys him, because we don't want him to leave City, because he's going to be something special. And he's going to have the sort of legacy that sort of a Lampard has at a Chelsea, club legend, a midfielder, attacking midfielder, could play out wide, I guess Lampard could, but Phil Foden just has that little bit more aspect where he can play a bit more out wide, in the middle, and even in that false nine role he can finish like a striker. He's finishing superb actually, and he's just building into that shoes that Phil Foden could really get into. Just mentioning Lampard, Foden's actually better than some of the English legends you think of the game, like Lampard, Scholes, Gascoigne, just players like that England think of like legends that wore the shirt. Phil Foden's he's on track to be better than them at only 21 years old, and I think this Euros campaign is going to really, if he gets the game time, going to establish him as a regular for the starting team for England and the starting for the Manchester City team, and that can only be onwards and upwards for Phil Foden progressing with his career. He's a homegrown talent. He's admired by, the best. Hullet, Rio, Pep. Even Pep said it. Phil Foden's probably the best young player he's ever seen in his life. Obviously, Pep didn't get to see Messi when he was 17, 18, 19 years old, as he's seen Phil progress through the academy. But to get that admiration from Pep when, Pep's coached the best of the best in that Barca team, you got to take that. It's probably one of the best compliments you can ever get from Pep, one of the best coaches to ever coach the footballing game. Phil Foden's a big game player. He's just shown that in this Champions League campaign. Both semis, legs against Dortmund, clutch goals, clutch assist with Mahrez to get against PSG to get us in the Champions League final. He really clutched it for us when De Bruyne and the whole team really wasn't performing. De Bruyne was injured. It was really Foden and Gundogan really, and Mahrez towards the end of the season pushing on City to really secure that title win, Carabao Cup win, and really secure, in my opinion, still a successful Champions League campaign. We made it to a Champions League final. Our first final, we lost it, but Chelsea lost their first Champions League final, came back, and they've won all the finals they've been in since, including against us. So, it's onwards and upwards from here regarding the Champions League for Phil Foden. I reckon he's going to secure himself as one of the best Champions League players to play in England, to come from the Premier League and play in that competition. I think he's going to do that for sure. Just to top this off, I haven't really felt like this about a player since Yaya Toure. Yaya Toure was the player that got me to support Man City, and then Aguero's obviously my favourite player of all time for City. But just, when you watch Yaya play, you're like, this is a mad player. Like, what we're witnessing here is really good football. We should be blessed to be watching this. And with Phil Foden, in the next 5 years, I reckon he'll win a Ballon d'Or, maybe even 2. Depending how Mbappe and Haaland go, obviously, and any other youngsters that are going to come up. And who knows, fucking Lewandowski might win one down the road. But, Phil Foden is something special. He's a gem, like he's a diamond in the rough, and Man City can never let this guy go. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. That was just my quick thoughts on Phil Foden, what I think, is possible for him and his legacy with his potential that he's got, what he can actually become, and hopefully he becomes everything I say in this video in a sky blue jersey and stays loyal to the club that he's come up through in academy, and, hopefully he can win everything with the club. And secure himself as one of the best English products to ever play in the Premier League and in football in general.